Well, racing has been fun, so it's time for me to go drive some trains. and there, it took a second to start. Hey guys, it's Gum. Here we are starting not like a full-on Let's Play on Train Sim World 5, but instead we're doing a Let's Play on a certain part of the game here, so, and figured, and to certain train's 80th anniversary this year, I figured this thing, why not do it? And we're doing the Thomas and Friends content here on Train Sim World 5. And yeah, I did a live stream of this back when shortly after it came out, and well, I felt like why not do a full Let's Play of it, and plus they added some new content here since I did the live stream on it, so we're gonna go through all of this here, and it's playing the classic Thomas theme song. Yeah, I did complete all of this here, all of the main, all of what was first added here at 80th Celebration here. I did not do all of this here. I mean, I did start this one, but eventually but I messed up on something and I just didn't feel like wanting to restart it, so now I have a good reason to go back and do that, and so that's what we'll do. So we'll do everything here, and even the tutorials here, just because we can, So I don't know how long this Let's Play is going to be, but we'll see.
Hello there, and welcome to the training centre. Before you can start your adventures on the West Somerset Railway, you will need to learn how to drive Thomas. In this short introduction, you will be taken through every step needed to make sure that Thomas is a really useful engine. And I'm sure you'll be an expert driver in no time. It looks like Thomas is eager to get started, so let's begin. Hello, driver. I can't wait to get started and show you what a really useful engine I am.
Yes, indeed.
You need to climb aboard.
But yeah.
Follow the blue markers in front of you as they will guide.
But yeah, I'm not going to be quiet over all that dialogue here, because there's a good chunk of dialogue throughout this here, and all of it's narrated by the legendary Mark Moorhan, and who was, I guess, I would say the last narrator of Thomas, but really, eventually the voice of Thomas took over the role as narrator, and yeah, I got in that without having to climb up here, because, in the Big World, Big Adventures era of Thomas and Friends, Thomas became the narrator, narrated in the US by Joseph May and UK by John Hassler. Yeah, used Y here, and oh right, I have to actually do this here. Here. Yeah, in order to complete this here. Because, yeah, I haven't touched this in a little while, so maybe a little rusty. Yeah, we're inside Thomas's cab here, and in this position, but I need to stand in the driver's position, and
if you want a better view of your train or the line ahead, you can change between several different external camera views at any time.
Yeah, just press the right stick and you can just switch between different camera angles. And yeah, Thomas's model design here is based off his CGI counterpart. You can even tell it's like based off like seasons 23 and 24 because of all the rivets that were added to him in those seasons. Yeah, I'll stay in that. But of course, there's no. You can just switch back between the two or whenever you want to. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. And I will talk about, of course, about some, not just about the Thomas stuff in this game, but I'll also talk about the Train Sim World 5 stuff in this as well, because I'm not gonna be doing a full-on Let's Play of this game, so, and I just wanted to do the Thomas content, and mainly because this year's the 80th anniversary of the franchise, so it just seemed really, it always seemed to make sense here. And when I found out about the Thomas coming to this game, I was like, okay, I don't know much about Train Sim World or anything, but I'm buying it for this here because I never played a Thomas video game before. When those have even though those have existed, because, well, maybe they're mostly in like other countries where those Thomas video games existed. Like, I know in a different country there was a Nintendo Wii, but yeah, a game called Hero of the Vales. So yeah, so there are games and Thomas games, and there's outside in other countries, but closest I have to Thomas games is on it's like little games in the Thomas DVDs. See, and yeah, controls you said use right trigger to accelerate and left trigger to brake.
Annie and Clarabelle are waiting in the sidings behind you, and you must collect them before heading to the station. In order to reach Annie and Clarabelle, you will first need to switch the junction so that it is set to the correct track. You can set the junction by either using the route map or climbing down out of the cab and walking over to it. Great work.
Okay, yeah. And I'm also going to have the dialogue up for the points where I can't move around. That's the main reason. Yeah, that's my mainly when I'm just going to have the volume turned up. There, and yeah, the points are already set, so yeah, so as you can see here, we can now start reversing backwards here. Here, and of course we don't want to go over the speed limit, otherwise crash, and we don't want to go too fast into any otherwise we bump the coaches and we have to mend the hole in the brake pipe with a newspaper and a leather bootlace. But no, seriously, we don't want to crash into them, because if you mess up at all, you have to restart this all from the very beginning. And there are no checkpoints throughout this. I mean, you can save state throughout this, but
Hello, Annie. Hello, Clarabelle.
but I don't want to do that.
Hello, Thomas. Well done. You're now ready to head to the station.
And yeah, even after the show's ended and we got a place where all engines go, Mike Mohan still the official narrator of Thomas. And hey, I wanted to go did it end like shortly after this DLC was released, and well, yeah, I mean it's a little bit sad, but also yeah, I'm like good that's over, because man, I wouldn't say All Engines Go was like awful, because it wasn't written badly or anything. It just hurts more so as like a Thomas fan, really, because like this isn't what we grew up with, and this isn't Thomas. But I do think kids will enjoy it, so it's not. Plus, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, I would definitely watch it over other All Engines Go over other stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't know what I would watch it over exactly, but whenever it was released on new episodes were released on Netflix, I've been checking them out. But yeah, only had 4 seasons, so and it's now time to go faster here, and if you click left stick, you can blow Thomas's whistle. Oh, and yeah, let's go as fast as we can here. And yeah, that was my driver as well. It's just my OC character. He was like, yeah, and why he has a ponytail? I don't wear ponytails. I mean, if it was like a little braided hair, like a Padawan in Star Wars, then yeah, I guess I would allow it. But you're no Padawan in Star Wars, and yeah, you can even have the camera go inside the characters' faces, and it looks a little weird. And yeah, even Thomas, you're like, look at that, that just looks even weirder. You're like, ugh.
You're nearing the station now, so remember to slow down and come to a stop at the platform.
Yeah, I will do that. And I'll slow down. And then, you know, plenty of meters away, so we can just kind of coast to a stop. Well, not exactly. At least coast in until we get close enough to where we have to brake. I mean, it is a little forgiving to where you can overshoot just a little bit and be fine, but yeah. But if you like run a red signal, then that counts as a fail. Yeah, it even tells you where you need to stop for, not just for Thomas, but for where Annie and Clairbo are as well. Nope.
To allow the passengers to climb aboard, you will first need to open the passenger door using the control shown on screen.
Yeah, in order to do that. Oh, we could just do that left on the D-pad. Because how I was doing it before was like you could go up to the doors like these and just press A to close them manually. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. But there was a problem. There's nobody here. We have no passengers. Why even do that when there's no passengers? Doesn't make sense. Really doesn't make sense at all, but couldn't they at least added some people in walking inside the coaches and sitting in there? Yeah, would it really have been that much to do? But I mean, admittedly, that's just a nitpick. But honestly, a nitpick that doesn't even bother me because I just find it funny. Because you stop for no one here. Unless or you stop for ghost. But I don't see any ghosts in here. Yeah, I guess I better go pick up some Ghostbusters in my next stop. and yeah, also you don't want to go too fast, otherwise you will derail. And also, what's funny too is I could just manually uncouple the coaches as well, and just have them go running along here.
Remember to slow down and come to a stop at the platform.
Don't worry, we got plenty of track. We'll just coast to a stop. Yeah, I just quoted that line from the movie Anastasia. Which has like cool, fun action scene where characters on like a bag on a runaway train and but yeah, it's definitely my favorite part of the movie. Coming in a little fast there, but yeah. At least it's pretty easy to start and stop with Thomas here, because most of the other locomotives that I've ran in this game, it's not always easy starting and stopping.
Now open the passenger doors to allow the passengers to start boarding.
Okay, that makes sense. Funny how you could just open up. Funny how that works too. Like, open up these doors and wait, wrong side.
Splendid work. It looks like you and Thomas will make a great team, and I'm certain you will be an expert driver in no time. If you'd like to learn how to drive Thomas again,
Hmm.
return to the training center at any time to replay this tutorial.
Yeah, I don't need to play that tutorial. And yeah, cleared that and go on to the next journey. So we have the next chapter here, and it's learning how to drive Diesel. Yeah, devious Diesel. So, because yeah, there were two characters that you can drive in this Thomas DLC here.
Hello there, and welcome to the training center. Before you can start your adventures on the West Somerset Railway, you will need to learn how to drive Diesel. In this short introduction, you will be taken through every step needed to make sure that you and Diesel are ready for work. I'm sure you'll be an expert driver in no time. Diesel is waiting for you, so let's get started. Hello, you must be my new driver. I hope the two of us will have lots of fun together. First, you will need to climb aboard.
Yeah, I hope not. So, I hope not. But not honestly, but because he can be devious and pull the strings behind the shadows to get what he wants. Plays the long game.
If you can see that the cab door is closed, you can open it first looking at it.
And of course, it's Mike Moyen doing his Carrie Shale impression of Diesel's voice.
Now that Diesel's cab door is open,
But it's pretty kind of cool is that you actually, this is the first time you really get to see the inside of Diesel's cab when we never got to see that, what it looked like in the show. I wonder if this is what the inside of these I think it's Class 08 shunters here. Or here's what the Diesel's base is. I'll have to look more into it. I know Thomas's need to. But I know it's yeah, I think it is a Class 08, so I'm just gonna stick for that. Say that's it for till I look it up. And yeah, it is giving us the same camera. This first part's mostly the same tutorial here, telling us about the camera here and getting into these. So, but instead of following Annie and Clarabelle, we'll be shunting some troublesome trucks. But yeah, would have been nice if they did get Carrie Shale to voice Diesel and this is not just Mike Moorhan. But oh well. I'll say this though, back then, I wasn't a huge fan of Carrie Shale's Diesel voice, but I have warmed up to it over the years, and now I quite like it. Because before I preferred Michael Brandon's Diesel voice, but yeah. But yeah, imagine if they did get past narrators for this, like Michael Brandon, then Pierce Brosnan, Alec Baldwin, hell, even Ringo Starr. But yeah, can't say George Carlin or Michael Andrews because those two have already passed away. Yeah, there's nothing we could do about that. But if I had to choose a narrator to return, first choice would be Alec Baldwin, second choice would probably be Michael Brandon, and third choice would be Mike Moorhan. Fourth would be Ringo Starr, and fifth would be Pierce Brosnan. But I think Mike Moorhan's the most likely out of all of them.
It looks like the troublesome trucks are in a bit of a mess, and you will need to shunt them back together again. In order to reach the troublesome trucks, you will first need to switch the junction so that it is set to the correct track. You can set the junction by either using the route map or by climbing down out of the cab and walking over to it. Great work! With the junction now set, you can go and couple to the first set of troublesome trucks. Make sure that as you approach them, you lower your speed and come to a stop as close as possible to them to ensure that they couple successfully.
Yes, indeed, Sir Topham. Yeah, Sir Topham technically is here as well, but yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, of course we don't see him at all until for these tutorials here, but yeah. But Biff, the troublesome trucks. Yeah, I'm just kidding, let's break. Hit him a little hard there, but yeah.
Now then, you troublesome trucks, I expect you to behave and not be so troublesome.
Oh, yeah, troublesome, friggin' troublesome trucks, you and.
Now that you're coupled to the first set of troublesome trucks, you will need to reverse back to the junction. Change the track so that you can.
Yeah, so we need to couple up to like these two ones here, cars here, and then these ones here to complete the train. And the box cars don't even have faces on them when some box cars in the show do. The one thing that's kind of a little crazy to me is that we never see a female troublesome truck really. Well, maybe in like Journey Beyond Soda and Big World Big Adventures, but it's hard to say. And I went a little past that, but that's fine.
Use the junction highlighted to change the track and then head into the siding to couple to the second set of troublesome trucks.
But there's one problem. I can't really go any farther because there's no limit to how far I can go. I can't just go wherever I want really. I can only go as far as like I'm in range of like the train I'm operating. The only exception is that when I'm switching back to my driver and just stepping out and going on foot. But yeah, and if you press the select button, you can open up a map and yeah, overall, doesn't look that big, but it is. It is respect when you're on foot because the train yard's massive. Let me break that and.
Now you're in the right position.
And all we need to do is get all we need to do is get these two, the box car and these two cars here and the brake van, and we're good. And actually, no, I want to test something. I want to test something out here. Can you get the brake van? I actually never tested that out. I want to test that out real quick. I want to test that out real quick. And look, you can't open these doors here, but there's nothing inside except for a little bit of hay. And nope, you can't. Damn you! I want to ride the brake van. And damn you, indeed. Hey, but yeah. Anyway, let's back up here and yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, this is what it's like if I was in first person inside the cabin. Yeah, look, here's a window you can open and close, but I don't think that's ever happened in the show as well. But at least looking back is pretty easy here, because you have a real window. But yeah, this does give a little bit of an idea of what it would be like here. Like if you were driving a Thomas killed. If you were inside of a Thomas character's cab driving them. It went a little past that, but nothing too bad. Not as bad as last time, though. And now we just couple up to the trucks. And complete the train. And then, yeah, all these cars are empty. There's nothing in them. That's alright, because this is a tutorial, or not the real deal of the story. And shoot, damn it. No, I approached that too fast. Then, well, we were practically at the end of that, but I'll redo it anyway.